believe in any fairy tales about devils and ghosts. Well, I didn't believe in it before until one incident happened to me. Last summer, after work, I decided to go to my grandmother's. When I was little, I loved spending my holidays there. She lives in a country house in the forest, and it takes about 3 hours to get there. I arrived in the evening. My grandmother had a guest who also came from far. Unfortunately, the house was small and I decided that I would spend a night in the bathhouse. After hearing this at dinner, my grandmother suddenly became furious and said it to me that I shouldn't sleep in the bathhouse. I asked, "Why, Grandma?" She said, "At midnight, devils come to the bathhouse to wash." I laughed out and I said I wouldn't believe such a nonsense. Grandmother again tried to dissuade me, and I didn't listen to her. Having finished my last cup of tea, I took a blanket and went to sleep to the bathhouse. Taking a soothing breath, I slowly opened the door of the bathhouse, which also cracked terribly. How lucky that the switch was right in front of the entrance. Feeling little fear, I drove the bathroom out of my hand and closed the open door of the washing room. I didn't turn off already dim light in the room. After reading a book on my smartphone, I looked at the time. It was already 11:35 p.m. Only 25 minutes to the midnight. I was convinced that all this was nonsense. I decided not to fall asleep and wait until midnight. Dispel the atmosphere, but I decided to play. I was very into the game and I forgot about the time. I looked at every corner carefully. Not a single shadow was noticed, and I realized that nothing happened. After waiting another minute, I took off my glasses and closed my eyes, and I fell asleep. In the middle of night, I felt cold piercing my body. I jumped sharply with trembling hands and I put my glasses and turned on the flashlight. There was somebody. It was my whole body. I began listening to the sounds in the bath. The cricket chirps, silence. But all of a sudden, in 1 second, I heard sound. It was coming from the washing room. Silently, I sat and listened to the washing room. Goosebumps ran through my body. I heard something strange, sound of rustling. I couldn't explain about this. Quiet chuckles came from the washing room. They laughed as if they were afraid to disturb me. My hair stood on and my head bumped. Pulling myself together, I got up and went to the washing room. Suddenly, creepy laugh ended. And then I made a terrible thing. I approached to the door and looked through the small gap, illuminating it with a flashlight. don't remember how I ran out there. I came to my sense only in the kitchen in the house. There, early in the morning, my grandmother woke me up, asleep and pale. I told her everything. I went outside and grabbed an axe and went into the bathhouse. The floor and the wash bench were wet. From what I saw, it made me sick. So someone really was outside that door? From this, I felt uneasy, and I thought, what if I opened the door that night? Who knows?